Hey everyone, I have an exchange breakdown for you today. So this is from my match with Jon Paulino in AGO, and I've been thinking about this exchange a lot since it happened. When it happened, I thought it was pretty cool, but looking back on it, it was maybe a little bit messy, and things didn't entirely go as I wanted them to, so I wanted to kind of break it down and talk about what I was thinking, why I did the things I did, and what went wrong. So let's watch the exchange a couple times first. Once more. Alright, so there's the exchange. So let's talk about what happened. You know, on a cursory look, it's a messy grapple followed by a failed takedown where we both end up on the ground. So let's break down each piece of this. Let's slow down a little bit. All right, so we start with this entry here. So he goes for my upper right, left side from him. So I duck down to the left. This is a common thing that was happening during this match. Usually with a step back from me, he would go his upper left, my upper right. I would duck and maybe get a hand hit, but this time I'm stepping in. So as soon as I notice, I block his attack, and I notice that we're in grappling distance, so I immediately go for this arm wrap over his sword arm. So the first thing that I always try to do in a grapple is just make sure that they can't hit me with their sword. So I'm trying to wrap over his sword arm with my left hand and hook the hand with the pommel of my sword. So first try, that doesn't really work out. He pulls back and goes for a strike, but the strike doesn't really have any power to it. I'm able to suppress it. So second try here, once he's finished that, now I get this hand through and I grip. I get this strong grip. So as soon as this hand comes through and I'm able to pull it through, his sword arm is basically out of action. You can see here my sword arm. So I'm not able to get that pommel hook that I was talking about before, that I really wanted, and because of that, I can't really turn to my right side. So a lot of times I want to turn to my right and pull everything down, so that way I can present my sword and get hit or something. But that's not possible right now because I didn't get that pommel hook, and he's kind of pulling back up. So instead, what I opt to do is turn to my left, and the goal here, turning to the left, is to bring the sword arm over one or both of his arms and really pull in tight to my chest, and then from there I can figure out what to do next. So I go for that here, but I don't quite get a good grip on his right arm. And then what he does, which was a really good move, is he takes his left arm and he grabs my sword. So this is really what's going to prevent me from getting anything substantial in this exchange. So I'm over his sword with my right. I still have the grip with my left, right? But it's a weak grip at this point. So before it was over his arm, and now it's under his arm. So I'm just kind of pulling in a little bit with that hand, and it's not a strong grip. So it's possible to break out of for him. And this strong grip that I want with my right arm, I'm not really getting because he's grabbing my sword. So this goes on a little bit. Turn. And at this point, it is, a neutral position. Well, I mean, I think, yeah, it's pretty neutral because I don't have great grips. Even though he's bent far forward, neither of our swords are in action. However, I'm hearing the count, and I could just kind of bear down and wait for the count to end and reset. But the score, I have 4 points at this point, and a takedown is worth 3. So I'm thinking if I can get a takedown, I can just end this match right now. So I decided that's what I'm going to try to do. So I'm looking at the situation, and I notice that his legs are, spread apart. Mine are perpendicular to his. And what I like to do in this situation a lot is reap the inner side of one of these legs. So usually I like to go for this one, but considering my position here, I can't really reach this one. So the only real option is to go for this leg. And the reason I like to reap one of these legs is because a lot of times, especially in Longsword, people like to kind of spread their legs and get low, and they think in that position that they're safe. Because it's hard for me to get a forward throw or any throw that you would expect, but they're not really looking for those inner thigh or inner leg reaps, so you can get them with it. So that's what I tried to do. So you can see at this point, so the real issue here is going to be my grip, right? So if I can really pull his arm into my chest, then it's going to be a lot easier for me to get this. But since I can't do that, it complicates things. Now, another issue here is he's really far forward, just he bent over forward. So it's going to be difficult for me. So my goal here with this reap is going to be to reap this leg this way and drive forward with this leg, right, at the same time. And that's going to, just put him on his back, theoretically. But the issue with that is that he's leaning really far forward. So there's a long way to go for me to, get him over that way. A better option might have been to put this foot in front of that foot and twist this way and get kind of like a Taitoshi type thing. But again, in order to do that, I would need this grip. I would really need his arm tightly to my chest, and I do not have that. So continuing here, I get this leg and I start driving forward, but you can already see this arm escaping, right? So the arm escapes. Since he's not being driven over, he can get his leg out of there, and I just kind of fall down, right? Luckily, I'm able to kind of drag him down with me, and that's going to prevent him from getting the takedown points scored against me, which would have been the opposite of what I wanted. So at least we got the neutral ending there. So it wasn't entirely a failure, but I didn't get what I wanted, unfortunately. So let's go back and just watch the entire thing one more time, full speed. And there you have it. So, thanks for watching. I hope that was informative in some way, and I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully we'll do more of these in the future.